Iftar programs. It means breaking the fast program during the evening. And I'm very happy during this kind of events and program to see in the same table, in the same place, in the same room, different people. Even non-Muslims sometimes come here to our center to share this different kind of culture, religious events. And I'm always happy to welcome them, to answer their questions. And until this time, during this year, we have already 12 converters, and I'm very happy to welcome those people who are joining our society until this time. Yeah, that's some short on me. If you have questions, if it's not hard, you can respond. Yeah.
You said you are from Turkey.
No, I'm not from Turkey. I was born in Soviet Union.
Yes, but we know that Turkey is a secular government with religion and politics are separated.
Yeah.
But for the case of Iran, they are ruled by theocracy. What do you think of it? Is Quran allow this kind of influence of religion on politics?
Actually, Islam as a religion, it's not. For the good question, we have lots of water, so very good questions. As I said, as a religion, Islam is not a political system. It's not related to the politics. So in any kind of system, you can be Muslim. In any kind of political environment, you can be Muslim. It's not issue of political system. It's something very general, right, to answer, but for sure, I understand that you give two very strict examples like Iran and Turkey. They're absolutely different. And Turkey, as you said, it's a secular country with religion apart from the political governmental system, the same as in Hong Kong. I think, as I said, Muslim or Islam can live in whatever country, in whatever political system, because it's not political movement. It's not related to the certain political views. Even in communist China, we can see Muslims living there. And I was born also in a communist totalitarian regime when religion was forbidden, and we used to be Muslim even in this kind of society. In the country that's very secular, and also again the religion. When everything is forbidden, we used to be the Muslim, our parents and grandfathers. So it's not an issue of the political matter.
The part you want to comment?
I think what I understood from your question as the message behind that you want to ask, I just want to elaborate that if Islamic State is established in its true spirit, then all the systems like political system, judicial system, educational system, economy, everything that should come under the Islamic law. It doesn't mean that in the courts you have another kind of system, but in the mosque you follow the commandments or the orders of Allah and His Prophet. It's not like that. The system that Islam wants to give and want to dominate, it's spread over all the spheres of life, all walks of life. Maybe your educational system, your economy, your trading, your judicial system, political system, whatsoever is, all the principles and the teachings of Islam should be implemented in every sphere of life. It does not mean that when you come to the mosque you are a Muslim, but when you just go out from the mosque and you do business and you do other kind of things, then you just forget the teaching of Islam. It's not like that. It should be organic whole. It cannot be, separated from each other. All these things are indispensable part of each other, like part and parcel. This is the Islamic system, but then needs an Islamic State. If you have your Islamic State, then you are assigned, it's your obligatory duty to implement all those things in every sphere of life, in every walks of life, in every system. Sometimes people think that maybe, okay, just like the Christianity, I don't want to, have any comparison, but just for an example, in generality, they say, okay, God is in the church, and He has nothing to do with the politics or the system, how we run the government. No. I just give one example about the Pakistan system, because according to the Constitution, in the beginning of the Constitution, like when you open a book, there is a preamble or the preface of the book or foreword. It's very clearly written. No legislation can be done in this country repugnant to the Quran and Sunnah. That means no legislation, no law can be made. That is against. Repugnant means against, or opposite to the law that Allah and His Prophet has given. So all the system, all the principles can be made, can be formulated, because Islam gives you the principles, the core values, the basic fundamental things. And then human effort, okay, you come up, and then the people consult with each other. Then those specialists, those experts on maybe economy, judiciary, educational, economy, every system, under those guidelines, or under those principles that Islam has given, that are described in the Quran and in the Sunnah, the life of the Prophet Muhammad, but he has taught to us. Within those parameters, you can make any system, the system that can run the government. But it does not mean that all the people even sit together and they cannot go against even a single order of the Quran. Okay, people come together and then say, majority of the people, they say like this, so we can go against the law of God. No, cannot. So this is what Islam wants, that under those guidelines you can, but it does not mean that in the mosque another system, but when you go to the market and do trading, then you have another system, or in the court, when you do the matters that come, the conflicts or the disputes, then the judge will do the verdict or give the judgment against the Islam. Cannot. This can be happen when Islamic law or Islamic state is established in its true spirit. But what the brother said is truly right, that when even in Hong Kong, in China, or other parts of the world, where Muslims don't have their own state, of course they can be a Muslim, they can pray, they can do fasting, they can have the duties that they have assigned, they can pray, whatever they can. But in a true spirit, of course, some of the things need a state. You have to have your own government to promulgate or to establish, to be the dominant, those kind of things. But then it needs the effort, so one day the state can be established.
I want to further ask something. Based on my very faith and knowledge on Islam, I've heard that women in these Islamic states are not allowed to divorce on their without the consent of their husbands, and there are many matters concerning the relationships between husbands and wives.
Like what?
They have to seek the consent of the husband before they want to file for a divorce. That's what I heard from the news or a movie that I just watched. That is about the separation. I forgot the name in English, but I just watched it. But they said that if a woman wants to file for divorce, they must seek the consent from the husband. Is that really stated in the Quran, or is that my wrong perception?
Maybe brother will comment, but I just want to give you one thing only clear. To gain knowledge from the movie, that is not the standard. In the movie, things are dramatized, or sometimes it's not, according to the reality or the facts that is described in or explained in the Quran and the Sunnah. So take Quran and the life, of the Prophet Muhammad, Hadith, as a standard to the original source of guidance, not the movies. Because in movies, dramas, plays, novels, most of the things are dramatized. But that's not the spirit that we can get the knowledge from those, kind of things. Yes.
Actually, this kind of information is absolutely not true. In sense of, for example, if the wife has certain rights and the husband doesn't follow, or not accomplish certain conditions and obligations, the wife has a right to complain about that to Imam or to the person who is in charge of the
Islamic conference.
on the conference or something. Person, she can go and complained about the behavior of the husband. And then in Hong Kong, in England, in Europe, in US, this court or this authority will just inform the person who did this, who did not accomplish the obligation to do so. Even if not, then they will have to separate. So it's not only in the hand of the man. The same right to divorce in this family issue as the wife also, they have this right. And maybe the example you gave from the Iran, it's not also good source. I mean, as I said before, traditional way of Prophet, we call it Ahl Sunnah. And in this sense, none of the countries that you mentioned are good examples.
Right, just a supplement to, they already answered the questions, that the man and the woman in Islam has equal right to divorce. The initiative can come from both sides. If you are not satisfied with the marriage for whatever reason, you can divorce. This is mentioned in the Quran, it's not anywhere else, that men and women have equal right. And then in the Sharia, meaning the Islamic law, if the wife is not satisfied in whatever area of her relationship with the husband, she can file a complaint against him and ask for a divorce. She is completely free to do that. It's not to say the initiative will only come from the husband. And in the beginning also, the wife has a right to set condition on the marriage. For example, if you marry me, you will not marry a second wife. If you put that as a condition in the beginning, and then later on, I want to have a second wife, she said no. This is not in our agreement. If you want to marry a second wife, I will divorce you. Because this is in our agreement. It's a contract. You are signing the contract. You put any condition you want there. I give you one example. At the time of the Prophet ﷺ, somebody who was not a Muslim, he saw a lady. He liked her. He walked to her and said, I want to marry you. He said, no, you can't marry me. He said, why? Because you are not a Muslim. If you want to marry me, you go and become a Muslim, then you can marry me. That was the condition. He said, I have gold. I have a lot of money. I'm a wealthy person. I can give you money and gold and horses. This is the... She said, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in your gold and money. Whatever you have as material, you can keep it for yourself. Condition is, you want to marry me, you become a Muslim. This man went, he liked her. And she didn't also object to marry him, but that was the condition. Then this man went and thought about it. He went to the Muslim and said, look, I want to be a Muslim. They said, it's easy. You profess the Shahada. You say, I believe there is only one God and Muhammad, peace be upon him, is his final messenger. Prophet and messenger. You are a Muslim. He came back to this lady and said, I'm a Muslim. I already accepted Islam. I want to marry you. She said, we verify the information. If that's true, then we go through the process of marriage. So this is just to show you that the initiative can come from both sides. The wife and the husband, they are equally qualified to ask for divorce. What is not recommended is for a lady to go on her own and say to a man, I want to marry you. It's not recommended, not totally forbidden, but if you want that, you go through the family or through relations, not direct. Just walking into somebody, hey, I want to marry you. It's not like that. You know,
the norms and the traditions.
In every society, there are some traditions also. In Muslim society, many of them, you will see some of the old tradition of this society going into that. They keep practicing it. Some people think it's part of Islam. It's not. Marriage in Islam has 3 conditions. When those are fulfilled, the marriage can be valid. Number 1, consentment from both sides. I want to marry her, she wants to marry me. Sorry, I'm just, this is my hands.
You are very defensive.
I don't want you to say something, that's why. So this number 1, consentment from both sides. There is no forced marriage. This concept is fake. You cannot force somebody to love somebody. That's what I said earlier. I cannot force you to become a Muslim. Because if you are scared of a gun that I'm pointing at you, when you are not in the presence of the gun, you will not pray, you will not fast, you will not do anything. When you see me, you rush and start doing it because you are scared of my bomb or my gun. Number 1, consentment. That I agree, I like to live with this person in the way the Sharia allowed it. Number 2, I should give the, what is called dowry.
Mahar.
Mahar. This is an Arabic term. When a man is marrying a woman, he has to give her a gift that will satisfy her. If she said, I want 10 kg of gold, if I don't bring that 10 kg, I'm not making it difficult for you, bro. You're already celebrating yours. I'm not asking you to give her 10 kg.
Where's my gift?
No, but if she has promised at the time of marriage, then he is bound to...
then this gift is an obligation. And if I promise, even though I don't have the means at that time, and say, I promise after our marriage I will give you so and so, I will build you a house, I will buy you the latest, what is called, the fancy car on the street there, I will buy you the last Rolex. I have to fulfill those obligations. So this is condition number 2. Condition number 3, it has to be witnessed. We cannot just hide by ourselves and say we are married. It has to be made in front of witnesses that Mr. X is marrying Mrs. Y. People know about it. You can't conceal it and say, yeah, we are already married. No, it's not like that. Some people have to witness it.